Today is Mother's Day, May the 13th, 2012, and I'm standing on my front porch and I'm going to take a tour through the garden to show how the flowers have come out over the last couple of weeks since my last video. We had several days of rain, and then immediately afterwards we had a lot of wind, like 25, 30 mile an hour winds, and so the plants look a little bruised in some areas, especially the rose bushes. You know, even with their stiff stems, the wind knocks the stems against the leaves and the leaves against the stems, and they all have thorns, and so the poor rose leaves look pretty bad. But anyway, it's a nice morning out here, and you can see from my front step how the garden is coming along with the flowers. As I go through it, I can see things that I definitely need to change. But let me just walk down here. That peony is... Peonies took a hit during the wind too, but you can see from the last video the peach irises have gone, and now we have nice purple and lavender iris coming along. And this is a Lychnis, and this is the white form. I also have the pink form. And the Baptisia back there is blooming nicely. And here is the first flush of roses on the Julia Child. And you can see their beautiful color of yellow, and they have a light medium fragrance, I guess, of about a licorice. And the Nepeta is out, and that is a peony raspberry sundae, and the fragrance on that shrub is unbelievable. In fact, the whole garden now smells of roses and peonies. It's really very fragrant out here. That is a Penstemon elfin, and the Salvia watermelon over there is still blooming. And you can see that the lavenders are pushing up their shoots. They're going to be blooming in the next few weeks. The carnations are fading. So this is carnation or dianthus fire witch, and you can see it's pretty much gone for right now. It will come in a little bit later. It blooms periodically. And there's the other Lychnis that has the pink blossoms on it. And there's our neighbor's cat, Lucy. She hangs out. She took a walk with us this morning. The the Columbine Yellow Queen is gorgeous here. Just look at that yellow, and especially next to the blue scabiosa. The white dianthus or white carnation in the background there is holding its own. So that's still looking pretty good. Haven't worked on putting that garden in the middle together yet. I did get the stone, however. Gotta do that. The Nepeta looks good. And just coming around to show the front door and how the front looks from the middle of the walkway. So let me just walk backwards here, and I can get a different view of the garden. This is the walkway leading from the driveway. So let me start showing things over here on the left. This peony hasn't started coming out yet. the yarrow is coming out on the other side. On your left is where this is south, so a lot of the plants bloom more on the other side than they do here on this side. And you can see the Columbine are maturing, and so you can see the spurs, the different color spurs, and I started marking them last night so that when the flowers die back, I'll know what colors I'm dealing with. Here's another peony. I think this might be Laura Dessert, I'm not sure, but it is gorgeous. You can see in the center here. Smells nice too. And of course our volunteer foxglove is looking very nice there this morning. Double carnation actually. And, ooh, look at that iris, wow. Well, I got to go back and stake that little guy up. He's sort of falling over from the wind. Somebody asked me if the bird singing in the background was real. Yes, those are real birds. I do not do anything to these videos to add sound or anything. So what you hear is what I'm hearing. That is a Penstemon fireworks in the foreground there. It's sort of strange. They call it fireworks. You'd think it'd be more orange and red, but it's not. So this is an area that I need to work in. And that was a surprise Columbine. I like the color. Look at how big those flowers are with the spurs. Enormous. I love it. So the geranium Roseanne is starting to come in, fill in the river, so to speak, and will be giving us a lot of blue flowers. That is a, what do they call that? A Transcenvalia, something like that. It's called Sweet Kate. Love the lime leaves and the contrast with the purple flowers. Just gorgeous. And here's a Penstemon. Oh dear, I can't remember. Oh, Dark Towers, that's what it's called. And it's just starting to bloom. And there's a really nice, look at that peony this morning. Wow. And the rose is looking very nice. I think I figured out it's winter sunset. And for some reason, the neighbor's cat absolutely loves this Penstemon, and I cannot figure out the reason why. If she could, if I would let her, she'd be rolling in this thing and killing it. You know, I've got a lot of Penstemons in the garden, and this is the one she just loves. Okay, Lucy, come on. Give the plant a break, would you? It looks beautiful this morning. I have to look up and see what variety this is. It is pretty. Look at those. Get your tail out of the way. Come on. But I wanted to show the inside of the flower. Isn't that cool? Oh, I wonder if it's in focus. Oh, well. And this is a Salvia. I don't know, it's awfully dark. The hotter it gets, the darker red it gets. So I might be yanking that out. I don't know. I'm not in love with that. The Santolina is going to be blooming pretty soon. And the Mexican feathergrass is blooming. You probably think I'm crazy to say, oh, the grass is blooming, but it does. It blooms, and then it goes to seed. So you can see the reason why it's called feathergrass, because it really does look like feathers. And it's just beautiful in the breeze, I think, as you can see. Oh, there's the one remaining peach iris. That'll be coming back in the fall, with any luck. You know, I have these reblooming iris, and sometimes they rebloom and sometimes they don't. This is a Siberian iris, and the flowers are very small, but you can see it makes up for the quantity. Very nice stand of iris, I think. The yellow iris are gone for the summer, and this is a geranium Orkney cherry. Really a pretty little plant, and next to it is a Penstemon alphin, and then I have a white Lychnis behind it, and there's a volunteer purple Columbine with a Salvia that's called Dancing Dolls, and I got that at a local nursery. I've never been able to find it anywhere else, not that I need to, but I think, you know, it's just a plant that they just happened to have that day when I was there. And so this is the shade garden going up the driveway on the right-hand side, and you can see that I now have Dutch iris blooming that are yellow and like a silver white. The reason why these are blooming so late is because I planted them in January, if you can believe that. Just never got to them in the fall, so plant them late, they bloom late. But anyway, I'm walking up here, and you can see a lot of the Columbine, the smaller Columbine, are gone. But this gives you an idea of what the garden looks like with the Dutch iris blooming. And they will multiply, so over the next couple of years, this is going to really fill out. And next year, they'll bloom with all the other Dutch iris, and it'll be really pretty here, I think. Okay, so coming around, you can see how Gertrude Gecko Rose is looking, and those are pink phloxes in the foreground. This is our crepe myrtle that's white, and you can see how the purple geranium roseanne sort of anchors the garden here in the middle. And this, our roses are Grand Prize, have a lovely color to them, if I can get over here. You can see that. I think I mentioned in another video that I actually had to transplant them all last year, so this is their first year in their new location, and I think they're doing pretty well. And every once in a while you see those plastic bags, and those are the Asiatic lilies that I still need to plant. The asters are getting big, so I'm going to have to be chopping those back because they're way too big. And also to keep them, you know, bushy. So there's Gertrude, and that phlox is still blooming. I love it. And here's the first blooms on a peony that I bought a couple of years ago. Not sure the name, I'll have to look it up. But it's a real dark cherry. Ooh, nice. That'll be pretty when it gets going. And a Siberian Iris that I really like, and I'm not sure of the name of it. Have to look that one up too. But you can see how the petals are outlined in white. And I just think that's so nice. Very, very pretty. And lovely color too. So I have a nice stand of those. And of course the willow, variegated willow, And as the days heat up and the branches mature, you can start seeing that they turn green. So at first they're, like a white pink, and then they turn green. So as they do that, I'll be trimming this back because it will just get out of hand. You can tell just in the last few weeks it's grown at least a foot. It's amazing, this plant. I don't know. So coming down here, this is a verbena that is now blooming, and it's a lot taller than it was last year. I'm not sure the reason why. And this is a lovely peony. I just remembered what is the name of this peony, but look at that. You can see the coloration. It's like a cream, creamy white, almost like a lemon yellow in the center. It's a double. It's gorgeous. And this lavender is sending up shoots. It'll be blooming in the next couple of weeks. And here you go. Here's something you don't see very often in gardens, and this is a Louisiana Iris. And sure enough, it grows where there is a lot of moisture in the ground. And so it just gets out of hand. It's pretty tough to control, but right now I'm liking it. I love the color blue. And let me just get you a close-up here of one of the flowers. You can see how it's a different, different shape, and with petals. They only last a couple of days and then they're gone. So, and believe it or not, yes, they come from Louisiana. So this is the Purple Columbine and another Raspberry Sunday Peony. And let's see, what else might... Oh, this is pretty cool. Not my shadow. This is a comfrey, and it has really pretty flowers on it normally. I'm not sure if it's going to bloom or not. I hope it does. It has beautiful light blue flowers on it. This is a Baptisia. I think this might be blue smoke. I'm not sure. And you can see that the astilbes are getting ready to bloom. So maybe the next time I show you a video, you'll see the astilbes in bloom. So the garden is constantly changing. And that's the whole idea. Boy, it smells good out here. Okay, so this is the garden on Mother's Day, May the 13th, 2012. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Oh, you can see the rock pile that was delivered the other day. Anybody for coming out and throwing a bunch of rocks into the garden? Some of them are a little large. They're like boulders. Yes, Todd and I will be getting a lot of exercise. Okay, one more sweep and we'll call it a day. These files are just enormous to upload. That's why I changed from putting them on my Facebook page to YouTube. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Bye.